Our room is gonna go right here. I forgot I had room is the favorite on the favorite thing. Anyways, we're here and we're live. Church. The day's finally here once again. Her beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Who is Uzi? Wait, I don't know this guy. Wait, what? How? Wait, how'd you? Gojo, welcome back. Been a bit. We have a new area here now. I been working. No, how did she find? Or is she your friend? Wait, so then how do you know about this church? How does she know about? How do you know about this church? This church is. Wait, so if you're not friends with him, but she knows about this church, listen, I need to start, man. It's okay. So you're new here. You left me for a month, and she's new here, and I have no idea what else is going on here. But if you want, we're starting right now, and we are live. So either you stay here and learn, or you can leave. But I don't know, but I don't mind. All right, she left. It's just you now. Oh yeah, I also put Bibles on the side of the chairs now. So we have 6 Bibles. I need to add more, but I'm out of ink because of that new area. Anyways, ignoring that fact. First of all, Gojo, welcome back. It's been a bit, but you're here and live in church. What do you remember the last time you came here? What do you remember? Weren't you here when I know, didn't you like wasn't it Genesis, I believe, like the story of Adam and Eve or Cain and Abel? Yeah, it was Adam and Eve. You were here on the story of Adam and Eve. Well, you missed Cain and Abel, the Tower of Babel, Noah, um, the births of Abraham, And right now we're going to the test of Abraham. So if y'all, and for the people who were actually here last week, um, we talked about Abraham and a test from God. There are like a lot. But this is the real test. This is the real deal. Whether real or virtually, get a Bible. And if you don't have one, you can just follow me while I read. We are opening up to Genesis. We shortened the one from last week because it got real long. We're going to start at Genesis 19 and we're going to end at 23. Oh, we also added this as well. I'm still trying to learn this prayer. I don't know what it's called. I forgot, but I'm trying to learn this. And it seems that the guitar got inside of it, and I don't think we're gonna be using that for a while. So maybe once I have it learned, we'll start doing this for next week. All right. Anyways, all right. Genesis 19. Hold on, let me look at screen. Should we go higher? Should streamer cam be higher? Let's get higher. Let's get higher, chat. Like maybe like this, like a bit back, like there we go, just like that, just like that. All right. Anyways, Genesis 19. The two angels came to Sodom the evening when Lot was sitting at the gate of Sodom. Lot saw them and got up to greet them and prostrated them on the ground. And he said, "Hear now, my lords, please come over to your servant's house to spend the night, wash your feet, get up early, and go on your way." "No," they answered, "we'll stay in the square." But he kept pressing them, so they went home with him, and he made a meal, baking matzah, which is unleavened bread, for the supper which they ate. But before they could go into bed, the men stood east around the house, young and old, everyone from every neighborhood of Sodom. They called Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to stay with you tonight? Bring them out." And Lot went out to them and stood them in the doorway, closing the door behind them, and said, "Please, my brothers, don't do such a wicked thing. Look here, I have two daughters who are virgins. Please let me bring them out to you, and you can do with them what seems good to you when you do anything to these men, since they are guests in my house." "Stand back," they replied. "These guys came to live here, and now he's decided to play judge, for that will deal worse with you than with them." Then they crowded on Lot in order to get close enough to break down the door. But the men inside reached out their hands and brought Lot in the house to them and shut the door. And then they struck the men at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they couldn't find the doorway. The men said to Lot, "Do you have any people here besides yourself? Whomever you have in the city, son-in-law, your sons, your daughters, bring them out of this place, for we are going to destroy it. God has become aware of the great outcry against them, and God has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went out and spoke with his sons-in-law, who had married his daughters, and said, "Get up and leave this. Get up, get up and leave this place, because God is going to destroy the city." But his sons-in-law didn't take him seriously. And when morning came, the angels told Lot to hurry. "Get up," they said. "Take your wife and two daughters who are here, otherwise you'll be swept away in the punishment of the city." But he failed. So the men took hold of his hand, his wife's hand, and the hands of his two daughters. God was being merciful to him, and led them, leading them outside the city. And when they had brought them one out, he said, "Flee for your life. Do not look behind you, and don't stop anywhere in the plain, but escape to the hills. Otherwise you'll be swept away." Lot said to them, "Please know, my lord, here, your servant has already found favor in your sight, and you have shown me even greater mercy by saving my life. But I can't escape to the hills, because I'm afraid the disaster will overtake me, and I will die. So look, there's a town nearby to flee to, and it's a small one. Please let me escape there. Isn't it just a small one? And that way I'll stay alive." And he replied, "All right, I agree to what you have asked. I won't overthrow the city of which you have spoken. Hurry and escape to the place, because I can't do anything until you arrive there." For this reason, the city was named Tozar, small. By the time Lot had come to Tozar, the sun had risen over the land. Then God caused sulfur and fire to rain down upon Sodom and Gomorrah. For God out of the sky he overthrew the cities, the entire plain, all the inhabitants of the cities, and everything growing in the ground. But just because the wife looked back from behind him, she became a pillar of salt. There's a song. There's a song about this. Like, because Lot's wife looked back, became a pillar of salt. And it's true. I even said it. God said to run away, do not look back, and don't stop in the plains. But Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt. Abraham got up early in the morning and went to the place where he had stood before God, looked out towards Sodom and Gomorrah, scanning the entire plain there. Before him, the smoke was rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. But when God destroyed the city of the plain, the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham and sent Lot out away from the destruction when he overthrew the cities in which Lot lived. Lot went up from Tazar and lived in the hills with his two daughters because he was afraid to stay in Tazar. He and his two daughters lived in a cave. The firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there isn't a man on earth to come in to us in the manner customary in the world. Come, let's have our father drink wine, then we'll sleep with him, and that way we'll enable our father to have descendants." So they plied their father with wine that night, and the older one went in and slept with the father. He didn't know when she laid down or when she got up. And the following day the older said to the younger, "I slept last night with my father. Let's make him drink wine again tonight, and you go in and sleep with him. And that way we'll enable our father to have descendants." So they plied their father with wine that night also, and the younger one got up and slept with him. And he didn't know when she lay down or when she got up. Thus both the daughters of Lot became pregnant by the father. The older one gave birth to a son and called him Moab. He is the sister of Moab to this day. The younger also gave birth to the son and called him Ben-Ammi. He is the ancestor of the people of Ammon to this day. It feels and looks and sounds complicated, but it's not. That's actually how it was. Genesis 20. Abraham traveled from there toward the Negev, and I lived between Kadesh and Sor. And while living as an alien in Gerar, Abraham was saying of Sarah his wife, She she is my sister. So Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah, but God came to Abimelech in a dream one night and said to him, "You are about to die because of the woman you have taken, since she is someone's wife." Now Abimelech had not come near her, so he said, Lord, will you kill me, even an upright nation?" Didn't he himself say to me, "She is my sister"? And even she herself said, "He is my brother." In doing this, my heart has been pure and my hands innocent. And God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know that in doing this, your heart has been pure, and I too have kept you from the sinning against me. This is why I didn't let you touch her. Therefore return the man's wife to him now. He He is a prophet, and he will pray for you so that you will live. But if you don't return her, know that you will certainly die, you and all who belong to you." So Abimelech got up early in the morning, called all of his servants, and told them these things. The men became very afraid. And Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? How have I sinned against you to cause you to bring on me and my kingdom a great sin? You have done things to me that are just not done." So Abimelech went on asking Abraham, "Whatever could have caused you to do such a thing?" And Abraham replied, "It was because I thought there could not possibly be any fear of God in this place, so they will kill me in order to get my wife. But she actually is also my sister, the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and so she became my wife. When God had me leave my father's house, I told her, 'Do me this favor, wherever we go, about me. He is my brother.' Abimelech took sheep, cattle, male and female slaves, and gave them to Abraham. He returned he returned to him Sarah his wife. Then Abimelech then Abimelech said, "Look, my country lies before you. Live where you like." And to Sarah he said, "Here, I have given you who I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. That will allay the suspicions of everyone who is with you. Before everyone you are cleared." And Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and slave girls, so that they could have children. And for God had made every woman in Abimelech's household in a field on account of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Okay, so if you remember, last week, we talked that God said that Sarah was going to have a child, and she laughed, saying that she wasn't, that she was too old. Well, in Genesis 21, God remembered Sarah as he had said, and God did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age. At the very time God had said to him, Abraham called his son born to him, who Sarah born to him, to name him Isaac, Yitzchak. Abraham circumcised his son Yitzchak when he was 8 days old, and as God ordered him to do. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Yitzchak, which stands for laughter, was born to him. Sarah said, "God has given me good reason to laugh, and everyone who hears about it will laugh at me." And she said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Nevertheless, I have borne him a son in his old age. The child grew and was weaned, and Abraham had a great banquet on the day Hagar had born to Abraham, making fun of Isaac. So Sarah said to Abraham, "Throw this slave girl out and her son. I will not have the slave girl's son as your hair along my son Isaac." So Abraham became very distressed because the boy and your slave girl. Listen to everything Sarah says to you, because these are your descendants through Isaac who will be counted. But I will also make a nation for the son of the slave girl, since he is descended from you. So if we think about it, remember how in some prayers are like, and honoring our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You hear it, right? You better. Abraham got up early in the morning, took bread and a skin of water, and gave it to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, then sent her away. And after leaving, she wandered the desert around Beersheba, where the water in the skin was gone. A bow shot distance from him, because she said, I can't bear to watch my child die. So she sat there, looking the other way, crying out and weeping. God heard the boys with you, Hagar. Don't be afraid, because God has heard the voice of the boy in his present situation. Get up, lift the boy up, and hold him tightly in your hand, because I am going to make him a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went, filled the skin with water, and gave the boy water to drink. God was with the boy, and he grew. He lived in the desert and became an archer. He lived in the Paran desert, and his mother chose a wife from him from the land of Egypt. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of the army, spoke to Abraham, and they said, God is with you in everything you do. So therefore swear to me here by God that you will never deal falsely with me or with my son or grandson, but according to the kindness with which I have treated you, you will treat me and the land in which you have lived as a foreigner. And Abraham said, I swear to it. Now Abraham had complained to Abimelech about a well which Abimelech's servants had seized. Abimelech answered, I don't know who has done this. You didn't tell me, and I heard about it only today. So Abraham took sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham put 7 female lambs from the flock by themselves, and Abimelech asked Abraham, what is the meaning of these 7 female lambs you have put by themselves? And he answered, you are to accept these 7 female lambs from me as witnesses that I dug from the well. This is why the place was called Beersheba, well of 7, well of an oath, because they both swore an oath there. And when they made the covenant at Beer, the Sheva Abimelech departed with Phicol, the commander of the army, and returned to the land of Plishmeth. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of God, the everlasting God. Abraham lived for a long time as a foreigner in the land of Plishmeth. Genesis. No, I'm not even gonna stand on there anymore. I just realized I'm like really small. How long has it been like this? I am not standing on the thing, by the way. Anyways, actually, you know what? That takes up ink. So actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to become a real person. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Alright. Actually, no, the Bible is good here, actually. Anyways, continuing. After these things, God tested Abraham, and he said to him, Abraham. And he answered, here I am. He said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac. Go to the land of Moriah, and you are to offer him as a burnt offering on a mountain that will point out to you. So Abraham got up early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him. Together with Isaac, his son, cut wood for the burnt offering, departed, and went toward the place God told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham raised his eyes and saw the place in the distance. Abraham said to his young men, "Stay here with the donkey. I and the boy will go up there, worship, and return to you." Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac, his son. Then he took in his hand the fire, and in his hand the fire and the knife, and they both went on together. Isaac spoke to Abraham his father. "My father," he answered. "Here I am, my son." He said, "I see the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" Abraham replied, "God will provide himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son." And they both went on together. They came to the place God had told him about, and Abraham built an altar there, and set the wood in order, bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar on the wood. Abraham put out his hand and took the knife to kill his son. And right when he was about to do it, an angel of God called to him out of heaven, "Abraham, Abraham!" He answered, "Here I am." And he said, "Do not lay hands on the boy. Don't do anything to him. For now I know that you are a man who fears God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." So Abraham raised his eyes and looked, and there behind him was a ram caught in the bush by its horns. Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering and in place of his son. Abraham called the place Adonai Yireh. The Lord will see to it, and the Lord provides. And as it's said to this day, on the mountain God is seen. The angel of God called to Abraham a second time out of heaven, and he said, "I have sworn by myself, says God, that because you have done this, because you haven't withheld your son, your only son, I will most certainly bless you, and I will most certainly increase your descendants to as many as there are in the stars of the sky, or grains of sand on the seashore. And your descendants will possess the city of their enemies, and by your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed, because you obeyed my order." So Abraham returned to his young men. They got up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham settled in Beersheba. And afterwards Abraham was told, "Milcah too had borne children to your brother Nachor, Ud his firstborn, Buz his brother, Kamul the father of Abram, Kesed, Hazol, Pildash, Yabel, and Butel. Butel fathered Rekav, Rebekah, and these 8 Milcah born to Nachor, Abraham's brothers. And his concubine, whose name was Rimmon, bore children also, Tevach, Gajem, Tahash, and Maacah. Maacah. This story actually has a meaning. Do you know what that meaning is? Do you know what the meaning is? Well, the story of Abraham actually teaches us about faith and to put trust in God. Abraham went through a lot. I mean a lot. Lot getting kidnapped, almost having to kill his son, all of his stuff getting destroyed, Lot's wife getting turned into a pillar of salt. A lot of stuff happened, but even after all that, Abraham still put his trust in God. And this story teaches us about our times right now. You need to stop losing your faith. Stop getting distracted. Stop worrying about stuff. Let God control it no matter what. God is going to help you. No matter how long it takes, He will help you. You just have to wait for that moment. It could be right now, could be tomorrow, next week, could be wherever He wants. But you will always get an answer. Shalom. Yevarecha Adonai mishmerecha. Yever Adonai panavlecha vichunecha. Yasem Adonai panavlecha. Yasem is shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord make his countenance to shine upon you and give you peace wherever you go. Shalom. I will see y'all next week. I gotta admit, being like at the full body actually is probably way better. So I'm gonna stick with this from now on. By the way, y'all still know about the new area. We did it. We've already done 2 tours. So yeah. Shalom. I will see y'all next week. Shalom. Alright, I'm back to my normal body here. I can put my hat back on. I love that hat. There we go. Dang it, I'm small again. Oh well, it's fine.